Hi everybody, it's me again, Martin. Today I'd like to bring you a GB news story about immigration. I've seen my country being destroyed over the years by our government. This is not what the people want, and you know, all I see is there's places I won't go anymore, you know, like London, my hometown. I don't go there unless I have to. Everything's stacked against me. You've got this ULEF thing that's come on. You've got your charges to drive into London as well on top of that. And the place is just a grotto now for me, and I avoid it. You know, I'm out in the country in Essex, and I can see that being destroyed as well. And look at towns, look at places I used to go and I won't go anymore, like Yarmouth, our coastal towns, full of immigrants, like, you know. And there's a couple of stories I've got before I give you this news story. You know, this is just me, right? I've got a friend who lives in Weymouth. He tells me last week the government's looking to put a boat in a port down there, right? Yeah, and fill it with immigrants. And they're going to be allowed to come into towns and that sort of thing. And the people in Weymouth, he said, when I go down the pub, like, they're all, you know, they're doing their pieces about this. They don't want it now. Weymouth is one of, you know, it's a really nice English area, like, you know, and they're ruining it. They're ruining our whole country. And then another story that I heard just last week, right? At the moment, I'm working on getting a container, and there's a guy that my friend's known for many years, and we went to see him, and he tells me about this guy that's bought up some land, and he's putting immigrants in containers, right? He's getting £70 a night, right? And he's got 500 at the moment, and he's looking for land and he's looking for containers. And I know that buying containers, like, you know, a couple of years ago, you could pick up a 20-foot container for about £500-600, right? Now they're scarce. You can't get your hands on them. They're sort of £2,000-3,000 for a 20-foot container, depending on the condition it's in. I mean, everything. And it doesn't matter what I look at in this country anymore. It's all being destroyed. You know, just pick anything. The police, like, they're not a police for the people. They're a corporate police force. Like, yeah, they're just interested in money. Everything's got a money tag next to it. You know, they're not interested in us, right? And anyone that reads will know that. Like, you know, look at the banks, you know, that cabal. They've been robbing us for years, you know. Look at our politicians. They're all self-serving. So when you go and vote, right, and whether you vote blue, red, green or yellow, it's all for the same. The WF have infiltrated our governments. So look at our hospitals, the NHS. People still think we've got an NHS, and yet they don't read. It's all been sold off. Like, yeah, it's private. The government pays the bill without using our money. The only difference between us and America is that the people have to pay for their treatment, and it's going that way over here. Yeah, people are starting to pay because they're not getting treated. You know, everything's gone to pieces. Anyway. Look, I'm going to run this. I'm going to run this story on immigrants, and you know, there's only one way to do anything about this, and you won't get anywhere with protests and talking in the pub and talking with people and saying how fed up you are. Right? You got to vote for a party like the Heritage Party. You need a party outside of the box. All right. Now I've looked at this Heritage Party, and they're honest. That's all I'm interested in, is a party that's honest with the people that it's supposed to be serving, and what we've got isn't. Anyway, let me play this for you, and I'll shut up.
Good evening. Well, don't say that I didn't warn you, because it began in June and July last year. As the number of small boats crossing the English Channel increased, we noticed something different about those in the boats. Yes, they were starting to come in ever-increasing numbers from Albania. Yes, Albania. Albania, a country which is a holiday destination for many, many British people, a country that is an applicant member even of the European Union, and from which absolutely nobody should ever be able to claim refugee status. And yet the numbers came and they kept on coming, and the government did precious little. And it was so obvious from all the adverts on TikTok that these young men were coming, not every single one, but most of these young men were coming for one very simple reason: to work in the illegal crime economy in this country. Well, we learn today that in the first 4 months of this year, 80 Albanians that have come via that route have been convicted in court of crimes, some of them very serious. I'm talking murder, I'm talking rape, I'm talking abduction, and of course, in the vast majority of cases, running illegal cannabis farms. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, just have a think about this. 4 years ago, Albanians were the 16th highest category of foreign prisoner in British prisons. They're now the number one. And perhaps that's no surprise to you. But the biggest shock of all is that 12,000 Albanians who crossed the English Channel have now broken their bail terms. They've cut off their tags or whatever it may be and simply disappeared and gone off, in many, many cases, into criminal activities. Now, look, when I was warning about this last summer, I was called all the names under the sun. How dare I pick out a specific group of people and apply a tag like criminal to them? But it was obvious to me we were simply allowing criminals to cross the channel. What annoyed me about it was not only did they not qualify for refugee status, but that the first duty of government is to defend the country and to make sure its people are safe, which clearly isn't happening with these Albanian gangs. The government in the end did take some action, and 1,000 or so Albanians have been deported back to the country. But what about the 12,000 that have simply gone missing? And what about if more start to come in the next few months when the weather improves? I think the whole situation is frankly appalling. It shows total gutlessness from our government. And my question to you is, what should be done? Give me your thoughts, give me your views. Farage@gbnews.com. As far as I'm concerned, anyone that comes across the channel or in the back of a lorry from Albania should be deported back to Tirana within 24 hours. And if you do that, you know something? They will stop.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Albanians, part of Europe, they're coming over as refugees. Refugees from what? Like, this government isn't working for us. All right, it's not working for its people. It's got its own agenda. All right, it's working for the WEF. Right, guys, that's it from me today. I'll do another video for you soon. All the everything I say on these videos is all in my opinion only. I don't want to get into trouble for saying things like, it's all true. We need a new government outside the box. Anyway, I'll leave it with you. Bye for now.